Christina Lane.
Well, thank you. The board convened at 5:30 this evening in an executive session to discuss litigation and attorney legal issues, as well as personnel items. I just wanted to review for all of you, just the kind of for board comment, make sure each comment by a participant is limited to 3 minutes, that no participant may speak more than once on the same topic. All statements are to be directed to the president of the board, and no participant may address or question the board individually. The board will certainly consider what you bring as far as in your public comment, and any questions that you may ask may be addressed by the board at the next board meeting. So if there's any situation where you go over time, the board may terminate your comment. You may be asked to leave if you become, do not observe these rules of decorum. And other than that, the board certainly is glad that you're here and recognizes all of you and the value that you bring to their governance. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lane. Number 3, any public comments on agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move to item number 4, minutes. Number 1, to approve the voting session minutes from March 17th, 2022. Treasurer's report. Mr. King, he is not here this evening. The following bills and reports are submitted for approval. 1, pay bills. Confirmed March 2022 general fund payments in the amount of $1,580,767.95. And number 2, confirm the March 2022 cafeteria fund payments in the amount of $71,027.28. B, report to approve the March 2022 Berkheimer report. Okay. Agenda items, board policy items. Ms. Balcastro isn't here. And we have
Nothing on there right now.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item B, negotiation items. Mr. O'Neill, chairperson.
Just more or less an announcement. We're working on a finalized contract for Mr. Maley, who will be retiring at the middle of next year, middle of next school year. So we're going to have to make sure we get that contract done and tie up all the loose ends.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. Item C, education items. Mr. Ross, our chairperson.
Number 1, to approve, confirm the release time staff development request. The conference and location is listed on the left-hand column. In the middle, those that will be attending the conference, and the dates that they will be partaking in the conference is listed on the right.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ross.
To remind the Education Committee, we have a meeting scheduled for Tuesday, the 19th at 11:30.
Did we have an invite there? Thank you. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Tuesday the 19th, at what time?
11:30. That's for the
11:30.
Education Committee.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item D, technology. Mr. Moad, chairperson.
Nothing this month.
Thank you, Tom. Athletics, Mr. King is our chairperson. I will read the FYI. The athletic committee is recommending the retention of the following winter coaches: boys basketball, Brandon Ambrose; girls basketball, Chris Rasso; cheerleading, Heather Semovosky; swimming, Larry Polochek; gymnastics, Terry Gazda; wrestling, Kevin Brosen. Thank you to the athletic committee for the time you put in interviewing these people.
Also, the soccer position, Mr. Sircone, once Mr. King's back in the fold, we'll have a date for the interviews for the boys soccer position.
Thank you. Okay, item number F, extracurricular activities. Ms. Sendo, chairperson.
Number 1, to grant the final approval for eighth and ninth grade students participating in the honors curriculum to attend the trip to Gettysburg, Sharpsburg, Manassa, Harps Ferry, and Sharpsburg from May 11th through May the 12th. As an FYI, there's field trips and there's a chart and the destination, the group, and the dates are.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Item G, Building and Grounds, Mr. Zaritsky, Chairperson.
Just one item here, looking to approve and confirm the following building use request pending final approval from the superintendent regarding the review of the organization's health and safety plan as well as a liability to sign off. And as you can see, there's a chart of the building usage organization, the date and the purpose.
Okay.
I don't know, Dr. Perry, do we have anything coming up for committee meeting?
Not scheduled at the moment.
Probably sometime in May.
Yes.
I have.
Thank you, Mr. Zaritsky. Item number H, Personnel Items, Mr. Bloom, Chairperson.
Yeah, looking to approve additions to 2021-2022 substitute list pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 2, approve an FMLA leave request for an education support professional employee, April 25th, 2022 through July 18th, 2022. Anything else, Dr. Perry?
I anticipate adding several items to the agenda with regards to personnel, mainly retirements. By the next meeting.
And that'll be next Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Item I, finance items. Number 1, to approve resolution BCC TC -2022-2023, the 2022-2023 Beaver County Career and Technology Center's general fund budget of $6,445,645. That's all I have, other than potentially a meeting next week.
Yes, I was hoping to have a finance committee meeting. How does Wednesday look?
Wednesday's the best day for me.
Marcia,
Early morning?
that works. Early as you want.
After your call.
I don't have a call on Wednesdays, only Mondays. No.
Okay. Guys want to go 9?
Fine by me.
Works.
Okay,
I'll send an invite.
Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Okay. That was simple enough. Okay, let's move on to item J, public comment for non-agenda items.
Hi, Cindy Phillips. I was brought to my attention that there was a documentary shown to the 8th graders that had a lot of concerning content. Talked a lot about predictions that the world was going to end by 2050. Agenda NWO popped up on the screen at random times. High school students and college students were portrayed as experts in this topic. It was, the title of the documentary was 2050, a documentary.
What was it? I'm sorry.
2050, a documentary. It's on YouTube. One of the most disturbing comments stated by one of the young people presenting is, in a couple years, we'll finally get rid of the conservatives that are our parents, and it's our turn. It's our time to make a difference. This was stated to 8th graders. It talks about 2050 is our deadline. We'll suffer losses unfathomable to mankind. World War III could break out over clean water supply. Entire populations could be decimated by the year of 2050. Ends civilized life as we know it. Some of the content in the movie was actually okay. Talked about how we all need to take a role and responsibility in taking care of our earth that God gave us. They don't talk about God. It's my understanding that the authors of this video are self-proclaimed atheists. So the information being put forth to 8th graders is not only terrifying. I'm not sure what they meant by getting rid of their conservative parents, but this is content. I'm not sure if it was on the curriculum, how it got shown. It was in 8th grade science class. I do know that. I don't even have a kid in that school. But when my daughter was in 8th grade, she got the privilege of being shown a video that had a white girl and a lot of other kids with different colored skin and different nationalities, and talked about, it ended with the white girl saying, "I feel so bad. I had no idea that I was born privileged." It has affected my daughter. There's another movie shown to other kids, said you can be anything you want to be. It's still unclear what the content of this movie was. I tried to get information about it and I was denied any information about it as a taxpayer in the school district. It had some gender conversations in it, to my understanding. So these things are concerning. Parents are waking up, we're paying attention, we talk to each other, whether we have kids in those buildings or not. Rather than expanding schools, we're going to be needing to minimize schools because there's lots of people looking at other options. If these are the things that are continue to be put in our children's brains, we're not going to be a part of it. So I think the curriculum needs to be cleaned up. Teachers need to be held accountable. This is unacceptable. So I hope something will be done to address it.
Thank you, Cindy.
April Katsafanis, 201 Morning Mist Drive. I actually have 2 points this evening. The first is I have a compliment. I was here at the beginning of school year last year with intrepidation about how we were going to approach at the primary and the elementary levels, technology versus manual dexterity. And I do like to give feedback, positive and negative, and I'd like to say I am very pleased at how the school year has gone. My 2nd grader, she's learning cursive. She is thriving. She is mastering it and loves it. My 4th grader, who was a pandemic baby in 2nd grade when they were learning cursive, never finished going through the program of learning all the cursive letters, but that is also being reinforced in her 4th grade class now. So I am very pleased as a parent that this skill is still being taught at Central Valley. And I just want to say thank you. Also, the balance between the iPads and manual dexterity with paper and pencil, I'm very pleased with that as well. I had concerns that we were just going to go straight technology. And at least I will speak from our teacher, Mrs. Bowen and Mrs. Beatrice and Clemencic, I'm very pleased. Maybe some other parents have different points of views because I don't think all the teachers may be following exactly what my girls are getting, but I am very pleased and very happy. And I have the utmost respect for our teachers. I can honestly say from K through 4th grade that I am so blessed and I am so thankful for who my girls have encountered because these teachers have made a tremendous impact to the positive in my girls' lives. And I credit Mrs. Kasanovich and her staff and also Mrs. Farragotti and her staff. So I would like to say thank you for that. My 2nd point, I do have concern with curriculum. And I was told, last year also with CRT, you can go out on the websites, you can look at the teacher's curriculum and you can see what's in there. But the video that was just spoken about, 2050, I did see that video. I am a conservative. I did not appreciate the fact that that was in there to get rid of the conservatives. And it's our time, get rid of our conservatives, which are our parents. I think that's disgraceful. And I just really wish if there's an agenda being pushed, and I don't know how I mean it, but if certain teachers want to say things, I don't think that that's their place to put their views or impose their views, on our children. That is a parent's job. So I really wish the politics would stay out of the curriculum and get back to the facts and teach the reading, teach the writing, teach the factual stuff, because that video was fake news. There's only one that knows when the world's going to end, and he resides up there. It's not in a 8th grade classroom. So I do have intrepidation going forward with my kids as they grow. It makes my job harder as a parent because I really have to reinforce our values to my girls, which that's fine. But I just think that the politics need to stay out of the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Sorry, I have another comment on a different subject. And I also wanted to add a positive. I'm so happy to see your faces. So much nicer to be in here and see faces. Very pleased. And I'm also so happy to see a list of field trips happening this year. So I'm sure everybody is just thrilled that that has all come back. So that's great and should be celebrated. My concern that I've already brought to the attention of Dr. Perry, I'm concerned that it could become a legal issue. So I wanted to bring it to the attention of the board and something that I think needs to be addressed immediately. So I got a text on March 29th from my son saying the meningitis shot is required to attend senior year. This is something he learned at an assembly that the school nurse told him. The school nurse violated school code by telling the students that it's required, that it's mandated, that they have to get it to attend high school, that if they don't get it soon after the start of the school year, they would not be able to attend in-person school, and told them how to schedule shot appointments. Never mentioned that PA law, school code allows for exemptions. So I'm concerned that if there was a vaccine injury, God forbid, the school could be held liable for pushing one side of that story. So I believe it was, I want to say it was, I'd like to think it was a mistake, but in the end, it's highly inappropriate. It's deception by omission. It's against school code and PA law. And I understand there are forms that will go out late in the summer, but this message went out 2 weeks ago. So how many kids are going to go get their doctor's appointments and their shots before the form comes out in the summer? I think something needs to go out immediately to clarify that there are exemptions by PA state law. You know, this just goes to show these are vaccines from 1960, 1983, 2019, and that doesn't even include the new biological weapons. In 1986, the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act shields all vaccine manufacturers, healthcare professionals, and practices from liability resulting from vaccine injury or death. And in 2011, in Brussowitz versus Wythe, U.S. Supreme Court rules that vaccines are unavoidably unsafe and that manufacturers may not be sued for design defect. So while vaccines have their place, the school's place is not to push them or advocate for them. So I hope that will be corrected soon. Thank you.
Ms. Phillips.
Anything else? Okay.
Nobody else? Okay, thank you. All right, let's reach out to the Ms. Park on our staff.
And Ms. Bergman couldn't be here tonight. She just wanted to let everybody know they're preparing for the state necessary assessments and the peer events. And for gifted, we have 15 students traveling to Knoxville, Tennessee next week to attend the National Academic Games competition. Very exciting. Mrs. Cross, high school teacher, and Mr. Miller, middle school teacher. Next week, we have Special Olympics on Friday, April 22nd. If you have any time, I would stop by Geneva College. And it really is a heartwarming event to watch the kids there. And we have several high school and middle school students who are going to accompany our Special Olympics athletes as buddies. So it should be a fun day for everybody next week.
That's next Friday. What time?
They usually start, well, they try to start at 9:45 in the morning.
Okay.
But sometimes it's hard to get all the buses. So
Sure.
usually between 10 and 1 is a safe time.
Okay. Thanks for all your help on that. Thank you. Ms. Kasanovich?
So we're busy at Center Grange, preparing for the end of the year. We have some in-person things that are happening, which are really exciting. We have our story walk coming back on May the 12th. We're going to have a kickoff on May the 10th. For all students. But the 12th will be after school. So that information you know about that soon. We're preparing for all of our end of the year assessment apps and all of that. We have Head Start classes. Just get a feel for the kindergarten rooms and the building in general. They always do this every year to get them a little bit acclimated to the building and get them familiar with some places. And we are also preparing for a musical performances from the first and second grade. Full information will come out a little bit later. That will be the year last week of school. We have another author coming to visit our school. and she wrote Brady Gets Glasses. So she'll be presenting to all the students in assemblies.
Okay, thank you. Sounds exciting. 6,
At the middle school, we're preparing for our end of the year activities. So we will have the PSSAs in a couple of weeks. Later in May, we will have the Keystone assessments too. Our students in the music program, they're preparing for their end of the year band and chorus concert. So their songs are really coming together. It's close to the office. So it's nice to hear that. Preparing for our end of the year award ceremonies and carnivals. So great things are happening.
okay, thank you. Mr. Dahl?
Ms. Phillips, like you said, kids are excited for the upcoming field trips. Or get to Washington DC as well as the Gettysburg trip. Our special ed's going to the zoo next week. Last week, we had the high school bocce team come down and play our middle school bocce team with our unified sports. It was really neat to see the middle school kids interact and have a great time with that. We also have Sam Sircone's athletic report, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure.
Tennis, you have Ryan Kerr, Andrew Yankello, Nate Nine, and Grant Phillips will be competing in the MAC Double Championships tomorrow at Beaver High School. Both are in the semifinals. Christian Kaczynski plays fourth and competed in the Whitfield singles yesterday at North Allegheny High School. All spring sports are underway and all is well. Playoffs for spring sports will start the week of May 16th. Matt Principal's athletic director's all sports banquet is currently going on tonight at the Fez. I believe that's where Mr. Saccone is.
Correct.
Seniors Peyton Bauer and Alyssa Gillen, along with their parents, are being honored tonight as Central Valley's senior spotlight winners. Just wanted to add that on behalf of Mr. Saccone.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Dahl. Mr. McCrary?
Yes, we too are getting into a normal end of the school year. The students come back today from Hershey, competed in the FBLA conference over the past 4 days. We had a group of students compete in the marathon today at Brady's Run. We held what used to be Winter Olympics, our Spring Olympics today in the high school.
I don't want to go.
We haven't had in 2 years. It went really well. Our kids did a heck of a job with it. Enthusiastic. So always makes me a tad nervous, but it went really well.
It's good.
But we have our kids in our Keystone prep. We're preparing for Keystone's exam in May. And come May, we are into every day but 5. We are either testing AP, test, Keystone exams. So it's getting busy. Our senior projects will present on the 29th of April. And then we're already into prom season and preparing for graduation, which will be June 3rd at 7 o'clock at the high school stadium.
Okay, just a quick question. Everything's going to move so fast. What is the date of commencement?
June the 3rd, Friday, June 3rd, 7 o'clock at the high school. The rain date is Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Mr. Imel, anything with technology?
We did a marathon of curriculum work with various groups, including reading. We're capping off some of those groups at the remaining 2 activity days coming up on the 29th and May 6th. And then we have a meeting with the education committee next week.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Comments from our superintendent.
I just want to wish everybody happy Easter. I think everybody could use a break, kids, teachers, parents, the whole 9 yards. Celebrate the season, learn to be kind to each other. Try to take a step back and enjoy the holiday and enjoy your family and all that other stuff. So that's all I have.
And just an FYI, we're off tomorrow and Friday, or just Friday? and
Tomorrow,
Monday?
Friday and Monday.
Okay, very good. Okay. Moving along, Mr. Ross, why don't you give us some board comments if you have any?
I'd just like to echo what, Dr. Perry, said. It's been a pretty exciting year, long year. And also like to thank the ladies for the comments, pros and cons, we definitely take a lot of that in consideration into it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Blow?
I'd like to thank the board for allowing me to attend the NSBA conference. I'm going to have a full, everyone will get a copy of it at the next meeting. Brought some good information back I'm going to share with everybody.
Well, thank you for going out there, especially the way you did. Thank you.
It was a marathon trip with relatives.
Okay.
Seriously, it was a good trip. Thank you.
Zawitsky?
I'm good. Happy Easter, everybody.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Senza,
Happy Easter. Have a good spring break.
Mr. O'Neill?
Nothing from me, thank you.
Okay, how was Florida, by the way?
Very nice, thank you.
Okay, great.
Just, I was happy to see we got the invitation for the academic excellence. If other principals can keep us in the loop of activities, I know the middle school has a program. Where possible, I know a lot of us like to attend these, like this is one to me. This is what we're here for. You know, the kids that over 93%, they deserve our recognition. So
Sure.
I think we do a lot of those things, and where possible, I think the board members would like to attend. So keep us in the loop.
Okay, and appreciate everybody's comments, whatever. Happy Easter, everybody. Adjourn.